Hello, everyone. We told y'all we'll be back just as we promised. It's your one and only Thora and Cara. Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, baby. Before we get this thing here started and go any further, there's just a few things I want to show. Baby, I just want to show y'all that, everything is now properly on the right hand and everything is right. Baby, show them your ring and everything. It's on the right hand, the left one.
Yeah.
The left index finger.
Yeah.
As it's supposed to be, because
right size.
Right size. And
right hand.
Yes, left hand, because they say the left hand is supposed to be the closest one to your heart. We new to this thing, but anyway, I just wanted to, get that out before we move forward into the video and let y'all know what the topic is of today. Well, baby, you want to tell them what the topic is? You want to tell them what the topic is of
The
today?
topic is the week before the proposal.
The week before the proposal, y'all. The week before I popped the big question. Man, I'm telling you. Oh, guys, listen. If you think living with a woman and doing things throughout life every day is hard, that's nothing compared to the week before you're going to ask her to marry her for the rest of your life. It's totally different. Mm. Listen to me. Trust me. Baby?
Well, I don't know exactly how it happened and, how he was feeling because, of course, I didn't know that he was going to propose. So I know he probably had a lot of things going on, and as nosy as I am, he had to wiggle around a whole lot of stuff, and I'm quite sure that was kind of hard for him to do. Was it?
Yes, it was kind of very hard. And me being the kind of man I am, she knowing me, and me knowing myself, I know her. I love her. So me. I want to make sure I test the water and make sure, okay, she's going to be able to withstand some things and some pressure if it was applied on her if she wasn't my fiance or my wife. So I had to take her through a little bit more things because, guys, y'all all know how we do, how we roll. We want to make sure they can, take a lick and keep on ticking because you know how we are. We some strong men. Even though the women are stronger, don't get me wrong, they're stronger. Great. But we want to make sure that we're marrying and finna propose and all that good stuff to the right one. So it was like, I was sitting through a test. So, this is why this topic is basically based off the week before the proposal. Because, it ain't just come about the week of or before or anything. It was already, men just don't wake up in the middle of the night or the next day and say, oh, I'm gonna marry this woman. Or I'm just gonna be with this, or I'm just gonna be with this woman for the rest of my life, So, I had to send her through a series of changes and tests the week before. And it was like brutal. It was like crucial.
It was very, very.
Yeah, but, I wouldn't change it for anything in the world, you know what I mean? But, we're finna kind of like get into the topic and get into it and hopefully, someone, one of y'all, or anybody out there get something out of this.
Yeah. Because it's like if you're considering doing something major as planning to spend the rest of your life with somebody, a lot of things can arise, A lot of thoughts are being placed in your mind and doubts and fears. And so through it all, you have to look at the bigger picture. And I think, because I'm not the one that proposed, but I'm just assuming that's what you would have to do. A lot of trials and tribulations gonna come along. It's gonna make you second guess, and you're gonna say, "Oh, is this right?" And I don't know. This is always the problem, and she's this way and I'm that way, and I wonder if
it's gonna be a lot of speed bumps and a lot of hurdles to jump. Hey, and if you let any of those speed bumps and hurdles stop you from your true love, then you'll never be in this position right here, right now. So this is what it all led up to.
So should I tell them about how you really got an open opportunity to really put me to the test?
Oh yes, baby, tell it all. You know, this the good, the bad, and
That's what I'm saying.
This the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, so make a long story short, you know it snows a lot here. I'm afraid to drive in the snow, really scared of it. But he is not fearful of anything. Like he can, so I guess he expect me to be the same way. And I'm trying, but you know, some things they gotta break and they gotta tweak a little bit. So we working on that. But anyway, he got this big truck, and I guess he was testing me, my fears in the snow, and he wanted me to drive his truck 40 miles out the way in the snow. And I really wasn't feeling it. So I got an attitude. I was mad. I was furious. I was really, really, really mad. Because I'm like, it's nowhere in the world. Like, why would you even do that? You already know how I feel about that. Like, you know? And he like, and I'm thinking he gonna get up and take me to work. You know, he wouldn't even get up and take me to work. He just sitting there like it's nothing. So me going out the house with an attitude, already just all over the place. We have these columns in the garage that's super duper close to the cars. And if you're not careful, you can scratch them up.
Exactly. We have very tight parking places, spots, in the heated garage underneath our apartment complex over here. So you have to pretty much be you got to be accurate.
Very detailed, very close attention.
Everything.
Yeah.
So you won't hit the column or someone else's car.
Yeah. So me, and I already drove the truck the day before, so and I parked it in the garage. So I'm thinking, you know, I got this under control. I could do it. I did it the first day, so. And I pulled out, and long and behold, just dragged the end of the truck with me on the column. So it's this long blue scratch on the truck with a dent, but I'm on my way to work. So I just thought about it, you know, and I was kind of like wondering how I was going to break it down to him because he already knew, and I already knew that he was going to say that, you know, it was me. My attitude was funky, and that could have led to
which it was, because the night of her going out the house, she had a horrible attitude. Horrible attitude. It was just like, oh, I don't want to go to work. It's just snow on the ground and blah blah blah. This and that.
And then I had to drive a big truck.
And then it's just like, oh, and then I have to drive this big truck. I'm like, but I'm trying to get with a big truck because of snow on the ground to take her out a smaller vehicle to help her in the truck. Now, granted, I had every intention on taking her to work that night, but I had just come in from South Dakota, 4-hour drive. I had been at work all week, working 10 and a half, 11, no, matter of fact, I was on 11 and a half hours a day. Working 11 and a half hours a day. I just come in on Thursday, and I had every intentions on taking her to work that night. But I came home, turned the football game on, and laid down, and it was like over with. She woke up, and I don't think I can remember her saying, you know, I'm finna go to work. I said, well, then take the truck. I parked in the garage. Take the truck. Never think nothing about it, or none of that. Never thought anything different about it. Something told me, before I go there, she was just like, I don't want to take. I don't
know why you took my car out the garage and put your car in there.
And put your car in there.
I don't like to drive that big truck.
And you know I don't like to drive that big truck.
Yes.
Exactly. I'm just like, baby, her not understanding and realizing I gave her the big truck due to the weather over here and the circumstances I felt as if it was better and stronger for her to get out of an area if she could. I got a 350 engine motor in my truck, a V8, a big engine. So I don't get stuck anywhere. So I'm trying to get with the bigger, the badder, the bold, and all of that good stuff. You understand what I'm saying? But she's scared of
would have
the.
been all right.
She would have been all right with her. She would have been all right with her little 2-wheel drive.
Yes, and
Front wheel and all this and that. But that's neither here nor there now. We're here. So I'm like, so so she goes on to say,
what did I say?
You said she was already agitated
Very.
because she's scared of the weather, driving in the snow. And I'm just like agitated because I know she's already agitated about driving in the snow. And I'm just like, that's why I gave it a bigger, badder, stronger vehicle. So I'm just like, okay, just take the truck, drive the truck to work. If I would have had the energy to get up and take it to work, I would have took it. Just didn't have it.
Okay, so.
Just didn't have it.
Yeah, whatever. I still was mad about that. But I scratched the truck up, so I felt bad. I didn't say anything the whole night. When I got home the next morning, you was on the phone.
No. Go back.
When? Go back when?
Go back because you drove the vehicle. You drove my truck.
I drove your
to
truck
work
after
the day.
I scratched it.
You drove it the day before, and you didn't hit the column.
Exactly.
You didn't hit the column in the garage because of what reason? The first night. The first night you drove my truck to work, you didn't hit the column in the garage because of what? Because of what?
I think it's because it wasn't another car on the other side.
And
I was able to just pull out. I didn't have to back up and reverse or anything.
All right. Well, and that's what she says, and I want to believe it, and I still believe it. But in the back of my mind,
He keeps saying that like I did not.
I still feel as if her attitude was different about driving the truck on the first night versus the second night. If her attitude would have been the same as it was the first night as it was the second night, she would have never wrecked the truck.
Yeah, and you're probably right. You're probably right.
So
but
when
the second night was worse.
The second night was worse, but she walked out of the door saying, I got up out of the bed, even walked in the kitchen, if I can recall. You were standing in the kitchen, I can recall you getting your stuff together. I was just like, just take the truck. And the other thing, you was just like, I don't want to drive this big truck. I don't want to drive this big truck. I don't want to drive this big truck. That's that. I'm just like, oh, Lord. Baby.
I didn't have a choice because my car was literally like snowed all on, and I would have to wait 20 minutes for it to warm up, and I was already pressed for time. So I drove the truck.
She didn't drive it. She drove it into the column. She drove it into the column before she even made it out of the garage. This is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
And she know. I mean, I'm not even.
All right, we're not gonna dwell on that though.
No,
we are not gonna dwell on that.
we're not dwelling on it. But we're talking about it until we move, until we get on to something else right now.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is her attitude was the reason of my truck being wrecked that night. And she didn't tell me anything about it till the next following morning. Mm. Now this was all happened before the week. And this ain't just it. There was more stuff happening.
Yeah.
Before the week of the proposal, it was way more.
But that was like the opener, because after that it was like I thought you was really mad about the truck, but you wasn't really saying it, because sometimes you feel a certain type of way, but you don't express it. You just, I guess, like really push it under the rug. Because I just feel like sometimes you don't address your emotions all the time. So you try to nip it in the bud and just don't let it sweat you. Like you don't sweat the small stuff. That's how I could think that you say it,
Right. And I do. I try not to.
Yeah.
But I was more so upset because I had already thought of calling you before you even made it down to the garage and tell you, because of your attitude and your actions, or how you responded, to me.